what you learned in school. Never mind what your parents told you, and disregard what your friends say. From now on, the only people you need to listen to are these guys. For the next several minutes, they'll take you on a journey through the political jungle. And when your journey is over and you're safe at home, they promise you'll be stronger, smarter, and just plain better. So buckle up, hang on to your ears, because your journey starts now.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
And do you know why I chose John Fitzgerald Kennedy's famous words for today?
Because he's friends with the Pope.
He is. They talk daily. I think they had dinner last night together. They had a good socialist dinner.
You're not talking about Pope Francis then?
Yeah, I am. Pope Francis.
Okay.
Socialist dinner. They had stale bread. They had faux meat, and they had some fresh water.
That's
delicious.
But did they have the best water in the world?
They didn't, which is up in Pellston, Michigan, by the way.
Where's Pellston?
Actually, it's south of Pellston, just north of Alanson, which is north of Petoskey, Michigan.
Where's Petoskey?
Petoskey, Michigan is north of Charlevoix, Michigan.
Where's Charlevoix?
Charlevoix, Michigan is just north of Elk Rapids.
Okay. I know where Elk Rapids is. Yeah.
Thanks. Now you're situated.
Did you know that it's not really Petoskey stone? Did you know that?
It's Petoskey rock.
It's a rock, yeah.
Yeah, it's actually
How do people get so messed up on simple things like geology?
But Petoskey stone is actually a hexagonaria, which is a genre of coral, colonial coral.
Right.
That has a pretty hexagonal, hence the name hexagonaria, design. And it's used in jewelry and such. And they are found around Petoskey, Michigan from being scraped out of limestone bedrock by the glaciers. And they get nice and rounded and pretty. And they just found a big one. They found a 97-pounder. That's going to be a big necklace. Somebody's going to be really strong to wear that around their neck. Anyways, so the hexagonaria, I think, is I think Devonian in age.
Yeah.
And okay, so John F. Kennedy is a first Catholic president. Had issues with
first admitted Catholic. There are rumors that Lincoln was in fact Catholic.
Really, I
don't know. I just started it. You know, Lincoln was Catholic.
Are you kidding me?
That's what I heard.
I didn't think Catholicism was that old.
Look, I was talking to Martha Washington the other day.
And what did she say?
She said Lincoln is Catholic.
Definitely a Catholic boy.
Yeah.
You know, he's kind of a Roman Catholic as he's roaming around the U.S.
Pope Francis?
Yeah.
Are we jumping right in?
No.
Are we jumping right in?
We'll come back to that. But
okay.
But Kennedy, Catholic, that's the connection. Pope Francis visit to the U.S. Historic conical mass where they canonize somebody as being a saint. Whoop-de-doo. You know, I wouldn't want to be a saint. You know what that means, don't you?
Yes.
You've been dead a long time.
Yeah.
Now, after I'm dead, they can make me a saint, and I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
Because they say, you're no saint here on earth.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, what? This is At Odds, at oddshow.com.
It's Thursday, September 24th, 2015. We are in the Freedom Studios on the 15th floor of the Patriot Towers in Liberty City. Where, Nathan?
Italy.
Italy, of course. What's in Italy?
Not the Pope.
Pope Francis, tear down that Vatican wall. He doesn't want to erect walls, you know. He wants free borders and people can come and go. And
no, I know.
He says he's a member of the North American.
So we are
continent.
Jumping into it now, then, right? Because
I don't want to.
Look, we are. We
right.
apparently are. I was listening to his speech.
Are you telling me the Pope's here in America?
He's here. He is. Well, I mean, I haven't seen him. I haven't actually seen him here, but I've heard he's here. I saw a video of him in a place that looked like here, right?
Well, does anybody know what really what anything is.
He
right?
became he made history. He became the first pope to address Congress.
Yeah.
John Crybaby Boehner invited him a year ago or something like that. He kept talking about how he is a son of this continent.
Yeah,
being us from this continent.
I don't know.
Which continent is he talking about?
Well, he's Argentine, so he's South America. That's a different continent.
That's a different continent?
I think so.
So what is he talking about?
This is a North American continent, South American continent.
And he talks about people on this continent wanting to roam north just because they're lovely people.
Maybe he just got confused.
He's talking about immigration. Yeah. Well, he's like 80.
Oh, he's like 180.
So, I mean, I'm sure he was confused, but I don't get it. You know, too, though, and this is very fitting, he visited the White House.
Oh, yeah.
Which is where he talked about things like immigration and gun control or global warming. He talked about a lot. They did not give him the standard 21-gun salute, which I didn't know this, actually, but it's apparently pretty normal for
dignitaries.
Foreign dignitaries.
Well, he is a head of state, so he would get one.
Yeah, and I don't have a problem with that. That's fine. He did not get one, though, because so the White House, what they do is they think about who's coming, and they really think about the best way to welcome them. And, they know the Pope, he's not into big pomp and a lot of attention to him because he's the Pope.
Right.
He's like the most famous person in the world ever, but he's not into fame. Right?
Right.
Also, what
point?
Ernst said today, also, right, he said, you might also be able to recognize the dissonance in welcoming a professed man of peace to the White House by the repeated firing of weapons.
You know what they did instead? Now, all my Catholic school alumni all around the world will probably get this. They did a fruit can roll. And that's where everybody brought 21 cans of fruit, and they rolled it towards him so he could have it to eat. We used to do that for the nuns.
Really?
Every kid would bring some canned good, and then we'd roll it down the aisle up to the front of the desk where the nun was standing, and they would take it to the convent and eat for another week or so.
He did say that there is...
Or, since he's from Argentina and, it's collapsing there in the economy, they might have just given him toilet paper.
That's sad.
That is sad. Socialism.
No, come on. Okay. The 21-gun salute, I get it. I understand what it is. But to think that because he's a nonviolent, he's he's a peaceful person, right? He's a big proponent of peace, that you can't fire guns like we do for everybody else that visits.
You know what they did instead, don't you?
A fruit can roll?
No, they raised up 21 crucifixes.
Did they? Well, that's peaceful.
Well, yeah, so nailing a man to a cross is fine, but...
whatever.
I'm sorry. I'm going to burn in hell for that.
Well, but then, yeah.
I'll ask for forgiveness and everything will be fine.
Okay, so the other thing that I wanted to mention, because... you brought it up and then interrupted me, is what you do. He did say that there's absolutely no social reason, no justifiable social reason for a lack of housing, which apparently is what we have, he thinks, because he went and hung out with all the homeless people who had Little Pope coloring books for the children, so they were quiet. Little Pope coloring books. The dude's a socialist. It's absurd. He's toned it down a little bit, but jeez.
No, well, they said he toned his speech down to be in America. The one he gave.
Yeah.
Where did he give it? I can't remember where he gave one. His encyclical was pretty strong.
So when I say something like toned it down, what I meant was he toned it down.
Yeah, he toned it down here in America. His encyclical, or his tricycle. I don't know what it is called, but
whatever. Okay, so hey.
Should we talk some more about the Pope?
Do you want to?
We could talk about him all day.
Should we call him up and let him know that Argentina's not in the same continent as Washington, D.C.?
What I love about him is his, as you mentioned, his modest means. And you notice the car he drove.
I did a nice American,
small-made, compact. No, it was a foreign-made Fiat. But the point was,
the Fiat's very similar to his Pope-mobile little cart thing, right? I don't know if he still
No,
has it.
actually, he was. That's actually twice as big as a Fiat. No, where I was
the
going.
Fiat bulletproof?
No, it was not. It can't bear the weight. That was discussed on one of the talk radio shows I listened to. One just like ours, except way better. And
there's only 2 of those.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So my point is, he's got this small little Fiat, right? And he's driving surrounded by 555 SUVs, heavily armored, heavily armed.
Yeah.
3.5 miles to the gallon vehicles.
Yeah, right.
And that sends a message.
Look, but you know what he did do?
What?
He talked a lot about climate change. So, I mean, that
was good.
That makes up for it.
That offset. What
every
you're saying,
20 seconds that he spent talking about climate change offsets one of those SUVs.
It makes it at least a hybrid or electric.
It does. And every 10 seconds that he says something like, "Why are deadly weapons being sold to those who plan to inflict untold suffering on individuals? We know why. It's because of money, money, money. Right. Blood-stained money. Right. I hate guns." Every time he does that for 20 seconds, it offsets one of the armed guards that he has surrounding him.
Wow. So if he said it a really lot of times, he'd have no armed guards around him. Or would
he could have more.
Symbolically? Oh,
he could have more
right,
armed guards, yeah. And not be a hypocrite, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know he could do that. Well, he has a lot of power.
I mean, Al Gore actually does the same thing with climate change, right? He's got like the highest energy bill out of anybody in the world, but he pays like carbon offset tax stuff. Like he gives money, and that helps.
That helps the environment.
Yeah, right. If you can do bad things, you can burn tires as long as you donate $20 to your local global warming charity,
or plant a tree.
Or plant a tree. You could plant a tree. I've planted trees before,
and
I feel pretty good about it.
That.
I'm better than you because I planted a tree. I drove a hybrid once. Not by choice. It was the only rental car that they had. And
I hope you wrote a strongly worded letter to the rental agency.
Yeah, it was horrible. It was horrible. Absolutely. It wasn't even one of the big ones. It was like the compact Prius. It was horrible.
Like a Pope Mobile?
It was absolutely horrible. You could put it in all electric mode, right? But then if you touch the gas pedal, it switched to like normal mode and said speed too high, even if you weren't moving.
Oh, slow down there, cowboy.
It's horrible.
You're going too fast for me.
Yikes. Okay, you want to talk about our guest? Because I need to do something.
Oh, what, get another drink?
Yep.
All right. Well, yeah, we can talk about our guest tonight. I think some of you may be aware of this. There's a militia dude out in Arizona. He's a retired staff sergeant from the United States Marine Corps that was talking about arresting a Michigan state senator, Debbie Stabenow, who, we're all for.
And she should be arrested, absolutely.
For treason, for agreeing to the Iran nuclear deal. Yeah. And so he was saying that he was going to work with the Michigan militia on carrying out that arrest.
Yeah, well, and militias all across, like any militia that's in the path between Arizona and Michigan.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of the country.
And the Michigan militia, in particular, the largest one, the Southern Michigan Volunteer Militia, responded saying, "Ooh, hang on there, cowboy."
And we'll get into that. But anyway,
our guest is going to be the communications officer from the Michigan militia discussing this very thing. The guy's name is John Ritzheimer.
If he's anything like the other militia representatives we've had on our show, the first thing he's going to do is yell at, well, not yell, they actually don't yell, but he'll tell you that there's no such thing as the Michigan militia, right? That's not what they're called.
Right, that's a generic term. Mm-hmm. They are the South Michigan Volunteer Militia, I think, or Southern Michigan. One of the oldest militia groups in the state.
Yeah.
And I know several members, good bunch of people. They're not crazy whackouts. They come from all walks of life. They just believe that having a citizen army is a good thing to have.